It's DSP's Game of the Year Awards, the best games of 2011. Honorable mention, Dead Space 2. In one of the first major releases of the year, we again rejoined our hero Isaac as this alien infestation left the USS Ishimura and actually started to spread in the main settlements of humans. And everything was, again, just spot on, just like the first Dead Space. The creepy atmosphere, the variety of enemies, the interesting and fun gameplay, the certain amount of weapons and variety of weapons that you had, the puzzles actually becoming a little bit less annoying than they were in the first Dead Space. In my opinion, there were a lot of improvements between Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2. My one thing that I feel was a little bit detrimental, I don't think it was quite as scary as the first Dead Space. In particular because the first Dead Space, you always felt like maybe you were about to run out of ammo, you never really knew what was going to jump around that next corner, and in this game, being that it is a direct sequel, it did lose a little bit of its scare factor, and the ammo, to be completely honest, seemed a lot more plentiful, so I was never really afraid that I was going to be weaponless. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad game. In fact, it's probably one of my most enjoyed games of the year, definitely one of the best scary games, and probably the only survival horror game that I played this year, and definitely deserves a mention, at least, in my Game of the Year awards. Oh yeah, and without spoiling, you finally figure out what the hell's been going on in the entire past two games, and it really is interesting and a rewarding twist ending, so definitely check it out if you haven't. So back to our countdown, coming in at number 9, Catherine. I think a lot of people didn't expect me to play this game, reason being that it is heavily influenced by Japanese culture. I mean, the art style, the reactions of the characters, everything here is laid out like an episodic anime series. And at its core, Catherine really is nothing much than a basic puzzle game. You push blocks, you move blocks, you stack blocks, you go around special blocks, just to climb up a staircase and basically get to the top. And really, that is it. But that's not really what hooks you on Catherine. What really makes Catherine such a unique and interesting game is the story. A man facing serious responsibility for the first time in his life, now faced with the choice. Do you stay with his longtime girlfriend who he's been with and actually commit? Or can he go off and have a fling with this new hot, mysterious girl that just starts showing up at his local hangout? And as the story progresses, it becomes a mystery. People are dying. You're wondering what's going on. What are these mysterious dreams that the main character has in the middle of the night, where everyone becomes a sheep and has to run away from monsters and blocks that are falling? It's really crazy, and the story, as far-fetched as it is, actually hooks you in suspense, and you find yourself wanting to play through every single puzzle to get to the next element of the story and find out exactly what the hell is going on. Now, the puzzles do get kind of repetitive, and to be fair, a little bit more than halfway through the game, the difficulty does have a pretty sharp spike. But Atlas was smart enough to understand that if they were going to sell this game to Western audiences, that not everyone was going to want to play a super difficult puzzler, so they actually put the ability to change the difficulty of the game on the fly, which I really enjoyed because, like I said, I got about 2/3 through the game, the difficulty spiked, and I found myself getting more frustrated than anything else with the puzzles. I was actually able to lower the difficulty, beat the game, and enjoy the conclusion of the story. All in all, Catherine, I think, is really unique, quirky, complete package for anyone who likes puzzle games, for anyone who likes this Japanese anime style of quirky story. It's definitely a must-buy, one of my favorite picks of the year. I'm actually looking forward to see what Atlas can put out next because I really like this style of game. Coming up next, a game that I never expected to be this good ends up being so much off-the-wall fun that it makes my top 10 favorite games of the year. Check it out.